Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. I know, we gotta bring some lively, make people get lively. We gotta sit there so quiet right now. What? Mm. In the time of sadness, you bring joy. The thing can happen in live only. Anyway, there's a special edition on the ATC platform. We came out quickly to have a short conversation. It's all about our victory today. In some to some extent, somebody said victory, and then somebody said defeat. But we're here to celebrate our own, whatever the case is. That's soccer. Somebody got to beat and somebody got to cry, whatever the case is. But we're here talking about a Lone Star game. A couple of minutes ago, we just experienced a huge defeat from South Africa. Uh, it all happened right here in Liberia. It was a return match. We were at the zenith of going to the African Cup of Nations. Oh my God. And we won that up, but we needed one goal, eh? Just one goal to take us through. Just one goal. And that was going to take us through, or
Sure, sure, sure.
whatever the case have been. Liberia have been, we had a greater opportunity to get us where we wanted to be. There are reasons why some people from another school of thought talk about the reason why we didn't qualify. We don't know why we didn't qualify. Apparently, many of you may have your own reasons. We are here to discuss voted from politics. We come here to give our own personal analysis, looking at from the field of play what actually happened and what could we could have done better to get in a better position. So I hear my co-host Oli. Oli is here with me, and this live broadcast is free here. And then you can find on YouTube too as well. You can also find on LinkedIn. We read there on LinkedIn. Click on the G. Delino Bryan page on LinkedIn. You can find the podcast. You can also find it on my page on the G. Delino Bryan page on Facebook, and also the Delino Bryan page, and also on the Oli page as well. You can find us. So we'd like to welcome all of you to this podcast. Give us your opinion. Give us your suggestion. What can we do better? What can we put in? What is it? What are the things we need to do to make our team a successful one? Football, anybody can win the game, but sometimes there are a few factors you have to consider to put you in the always in the leading position. So those are the composition we're going to. I'm going to be here for 30 minutes, and immediately after 30 minutes, we're going to call it a day. Oli, how are you? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, but a little bit disappointed because we had a very high expectation that
Hmm.
we're going to be in our sex, our mood for Cote d'Ivoire. I relates to the African Cup of Nation. So I'm a bit disappointed after putting in all the energy on the radio this afternoon, and we were disappointed. But anyway, everything happened for the best. This is Liberia for us. One day we'll get there. So I'm good, and it is good to be here again, doing what we love to do best for our country, for our community, and for our people. So it's good to
Oli,
be here. Like you
let's talk.
said, we are here to
Oli, let's
discuss.
talk. Oli, let's talk a little bit. Let's just talk a little bit. We have somebody following from where Oman.
Mhm.
Idena P is also following from Oman. Oman, we'd like to say welcome. Let's talk a little bit. Let's just look at what was your expectation from what happened in South Africa. Let's look at what happened in South Africa.
Mhm.
What was
So
your expectation? Looking at the Lone Star performance in South Africa, and that what did it signal to you that South Africa returning to Liberia, what would have happened?
like I said previously, I had a very high expectation because the team took us by surprise in South Africa, especially coming from the second half scoring two goals. It was so surprising. It was so challenging for us. We appreciate them. They built our expectations, and we feel that there was something that we could make happen today. But all of a sudden, we were defeated, and it was so bad for us. We had a very high expectation. Our guys, our guys were very impressive. Like I would say, they were very impressive because from the beginning of the match, they put us in a mood that we could qualify because the game was very strange. If I had the opportunity to go beyond the 30 minutes we are here for, I could tell you that the game was very much impressive. Seeing the guys touching the ball on the pitch, it was very much strange to me. This was my first time today seeing Lone Star touching the ball like that, holding ball for close to 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and keeping the opponent turning around looking for the ball. It was very impressive, but this is Liberia for us. We went for the win, but we couldn't get it. We came up with a loss. So it is quite frustrating, when it comes to enthusiasm. Around the time, people were cheering up, people were chanting the team to victory, and all of a sudden we couldn't go that way. So I'm highly disappointed. I'm highly disappointed in our team. I'm highly disappointed in our boys. Our expectation was not met. So we cannot do nothing about it. We can just say it is what it is, though.
Like you mentioned about seeing the players, seeing our Lone Star player controlling the ball for over 5 to 10 minutes, having better control. The ball distribution was excellent. You could see that the maturity of the team, unlike before, you see that our players were very, very, very mature in a lot of controlling the ball, and which I've got, like you said, that is something I think is very new. More especially see a very young side like what we have currently, a team that I think just started practice in less than a month, and seeing the level of control, the level of maturity, that's a prospect. Honestly, that's a prospect, and that tells you that if we are to invest more, into our team, we have to invest more in the football. Is all about preparation. Only let me tell you, well, I play football, right? And when you
Sure.
play, that there are a few things you have to consider. And the first thing they get in the court, psychological strength. They got the physical strength. A player need to have psychologically. A player need to be more relaxed to play better. And what brings the psychological strength is preparedness. When the players are well taken care of. I mean, well taken care of could be financially, because you have to look at the issue of surety. Football has a lot of risks surrounding it. When you play the game and you sustain some injury, you ought to ask for effort. And sometimes when the players are playing and they know the efforts at which they play on are better efforts, more especially the international players that will bring out our semi-professional players that come back. Those guys, the only source of income they have is to be active on the team. So whenever they're coming down to play, and then when you play for your country, your team has nothing to do with your insurance. Your team insurance doesn't cover you. So when you come down to play, it is your country. Your country is fully responsible to take care of you. Those are things you have to consider. The next one is that football is not just let's start playing today, tomorrow we come with good results. No. If you look at the South Africa team, that's a team that have been together for a couple of years. They take these how they call it, these different competition very seriously. They prepare their players. They organize the guys in camp. The guys are in camp long time before they can even come up with a schedule. They know that they take this thing in their budget. They consider it in their budget. They know that every year there are qualifying series or qualifying matches for African Cup of Nations. They know that they also consider that there are qualifying matches for World Cup. So what they do is that they factor the cost. Players are on payroll. I did some statistic, some investigation way back. Then look at Liberia national team. Couple of years back, way back, our national team player will have a full-time job. When you have been selected to be on a national team, that should be a full-time job. All right, that should be a full-time job. I mean that the players
Sure.
will
Sure.
go for regular practice. As long as you have been selected to be on the national team, meaning that you the national team should be practicing regularly. Meaning if that twice a month or four
Mhm.
times a month, you have to go for your national team duties. That how people operate in other countries. As long as you have been hired and selected by the national team, you sign a contract. So that contract will spell that, remember, look, you're on the team. Because you're on the team as a performance contract. And that contract is reviewed for between 2 to 3, 4, 5 years. It depending on the agreement, depending on the contract context. So meaning that when I'm on the team, I have a 2 years contract, meaning a 1 year performance contract. If I can perform well, I will be dropped out of the national team. But on the monthly basis, I'm going to receive a salary. Minimum or minimum salary will be $200. That every month I receive a transportation allowance from the national team, $200 for the national team. I'm on the national team. I'm assigned to the national team. Unlike here, we don't find it happy. We only select our players when we got game coming, or the coach is predicated by the coach to start calling players from local team, from a foreign-based player, and the player come to practice for like 2 months, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. What do you expect people who playing together, who haven't practiced before, don't know one another? If I play in Indonesia and you play in Turkey and you play in the UK and the other man is playing somewhere in South, let's say me somewhere in South America, there are two different playing communities, three different. So you see that the football playing approaches are quite different. It's gonna take us time to unify ourselves to system. How can we acquaint ourselves so that you bring the people that want to practice for 2, 3 weeks and you take them for international match? It becomes a problem. And I would say, I would really want to say hats up to kudos to the coach. He did extremely well to get the guys to be able to play just within a short period of time. The way they play, if we can invest money into this team that play today, whatever happened, it happened. That's soccer. Someone just got to go inside. But I don't want her to lose track to say because the team didn't do exceptional well as we expected, we should let go of this thing. I think we need to invest into the thing immediately. It is the time that we look at our resources and put money into this team. Football is expensive. If you look at the South Africa, let's say right here, Nigeria national team budget is more than our Ministry of Public Works national budget. The national team budget for Nigeria. I'm just going to tell you this. I'm not saying we should have similar budget, but I'm just telling you that football comes with programs. Program has series of projects. So meaning that we need to, so look, let's hire, if we can even manage 20 local players and put them on salary, do a contract for these guys. Regularly, guys will be managed by the coach. We already have the coach. Those are people who have full-time training, regular training with the national team. Oli, I tell you something. Our national team strength is based on the local. It's not based on it's not the strength of the foreign players. No, don't get it wrong. When you have a strong local players on the national team, because the local play together. If you can recall a couple of years back, Liberia was already qualified. I mean, already mean that we wouldn't need to have a draw during the George we are 11. And that game, do you know who put out that local player came from Ghana? But when we whipped Ghana in their country, when they came over, they said, look, we cannot beat the George we are 11. So they felt that they don't need to send the foreign nationals here, foreign players, the professional players. So local players came right in this country. And they were able to defeat or not to go to what World Cup. So when you have a local team that is very, very vibrant, strong, well trained, well prepared, psychologically, physically, with better genetics, trust me, you have a good national team. So, and I can imagine after this game, we're gonna forget about those guys. We're gonna forget about those guys. We're done with them. Then the next time we bring new players. Every time we get change local players. Every time we get change local, every time we get change. At the end of the day, we're not going to get good results. We need to start to build a team. somebody said this before, and I tried to believe it. The person said, what we need to do is to withdraw from international competition and spend 2 years of our resources on our national team, more especially building our local league, strengthening our local player, and see what's going to happen to us. Football is expensive. Football is not cheap. That's why you see footballers are the richest people.
Sure,
you went to school, you did political science, did engineering, but the one signing of a football player can settle me my whole professional career. I see what I'm telling you. Footballers are signing 200 million, 500 million. You can't see the kind of signatures going around for football players around the world. Doctors, engineers, lawyers are not making no money. So there's nowhere around the world you see football is cheap. So I think there is a time we all need to agree at some point to just say, look, let's withdraw from the international competition, prepare our team locally, pour money into our programs, psychologically prepare them, make the guys to change their livelihood to know that footballers are not poor people. You know, when you bring forward play, can you imagine? You get a man a Padang, $50 to $100 for national team football player in Padang. Why do you see that kind of thing happening? Oli, then you expect to have a good result? Let look at this. What do you expect to have a good result when a national team football player, the highest football team you can ever be in your country is a national team? And the Padang, so like Guinea, you're going to play, they get $50, they get $75, they get $100. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You discuss a very salient point. You made one point that I take key interest into when it comes to the issue of changing their environment, because football is a mind game. It's a mind game. That game you go to with your mind free of stress, free of problem, and because that's something that you're going to play with your whole heart and soul. So, like you said, bringing a team together and maintaining those guys, changing their environment, it is very key and paramount to that, because you cannot take a player who will go and play one game, like you said. No, that guy feels like he just go there for a pattern. No other benefit. He just go there for a pattern. If he didn't go by a minute, the coach do well. The coach didn't do well. You don't have time.
But the thing about it sounds like a 14 or so. So that's not. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, take those guys, put them together, and like you said, regular training is good, because nowhere in the world you can see a country going to or international match. You just take player for 2 weeks. You say you can train together. You call player from territorial team. You bring them together. You can train together. How possible is that? How possible is that? It's not just possible at all, because the thing football at time, the more time you play together, the more you guys get adjusted. The more time you play together, the more you guys get adjusted. But I was saying we don't find that adjustment. The adjustment is so difficult. It is very hard for those guys to get adjusted, because the time frame is very short. You take local base player, you put them together like 2 weeks better than 3. You call international players for 1 week. For heaven's sake, man. Everybody come on the field with
we have some comments. We have some comment, and one of the I think
so in order for the coach to catch up with them, it is so difficult.
Yeah, I understand. So we have a comment from one James Tano. The guy said money doesn't play soccer. That individual does. James, let me a little bit disagree with you. I a little bit disagree with you. Football player, what motivates the football player? What motivates the football player to do exceptionally well is the benefit that comes to the game. You see Lionel Messi play exceptionally well. You see all the guys play exceptionally well because the benefits are learned to the game. That's why you see some of the players are moving from a cheaper tournament to the richer tournament. That's what happened. Now, what we're seeing here, you need to have the foundation. And to enable the players to have that foundation, that preparedness. That thing we can say for that biscuit, that thing doesn't work. Because look at South Africa. Look at the Lone Star we knew before. See how Lone Star play football today. But do you know what made that Lone Star didn't go that? He saw the maturity with South Africa. Football has been called maturity. At some point, South Africa came for a reason. South Africa knew that they were playing Liberia home. Their strategy at the came with, let us be the first to score on them. When we score them, they'll be fighting to equalize. While they fight to equalize, we'll beat them. So we're not doing more attacking because we know that they want to win. We're not going to do more attacking. So they have seen Lone Star style play. Lone Star got control over the ball. So South Africa intended will always long counter. Whenever they lose the ball, we'll launch counter. And that's the start South Africa play against Liberia. We notice the game. Unless the last time when South Africa scored the second goal, is when you saw them started opening up.
Sure.
So that is it. So you saw that psychological preparedness. So they come to realize that we will work the ball. We're not going to attack them. You cannot come to a male horse, you keep attacking him. No, you can't make it hard because he knows the terrain. So why you do be on the defensive? So why you on the defensive, you look for a weakness. And that's how South Africa play us. That's how South Africa play us. You saw how they play us. So when you saw when they crossed the ball to that number 11, that's South Africa. That's the guy who was the most dangerous person on the team. He would take the ball at the edge and run and cross the ball and bring the ball back in. And that's how you score. If you look at modern football today, people all the goals come from the wings. The goals come from the wings. And Liberia had a better chance. We had a ball control. We played the ball. We were not kicking the goal. If you count the number of goals, Liberia kicking to the goal, it didn't even reach more than 6. The first ball we kicking the goal that resulted to go by Jebo. That was the first ball that scored. And you could see that. If we're going to do more kicks in the goal pole, we're going to get more goals. So when we talk about preparedness, those are things players go to football discipline. Football now have been so civilized. It's no more game. You just test somebody from the corner. You say go be trained for 3 weeks. You go play international match. It's not working like before. So people have to be prepared. People have to be invested in. You make that thing a work contract for 2 weeks, at least a contractual agreement with our local player. You sign them. Performance contract. So you're on this for 1 year. You will train with a national team. You're on a national team duty. Look, I don't even get medical insurance. Why you see nothing happening? You play on national team. No surety, no medical insurance. They treat you like after the game, hey, man, you can play. After the game, we're done with you. But what does that work? Let look at the reality. You see the level. You saw. Look at our goalkeeper, right? That guy is a good goalkeeper in our local league. He marked very well. He's one of the best goalkeepers in our local league. But you see the level of complexity. You saw the level of complexity. How you are going? Hey, Tommy, when he leaving the goalpost, he always rushing on the goal. Hey, Tommy, sometimes was so wrong. You saw how you are playing. That's what we call preparedness, maturity. There are certain things you have to sit down, watch other games, I'm not saying goalkeeper don't make mistakes. Someone got to make mistake for somebody to score on you. He's a good goalkeeper, but when it comes to the game, every game has their own spirit. Every game has their own spirit. Every game has their own level of maturity. If you want to play with George Weah on the field those days, people get intimidated because you play against a big player. When Messi come to play if Messi came to play here, right? You see what happened. People will get nervous because I'm playing against Messi, so I'm afraid. So our local player feel intimidated. Yeah, honestly, they feel intimidated. So sometimes what people do is that they take it out for international trials. So when the players are on camp locally, you take them for international trials. The reason why they take any player for international trial is to gain exposure. Because when you go for international friendly matches, you play against semi-professional for other country. Sometimes you play for against some professional player. Then you get exposure.
Sure.
When you take our player or they play for 80,000 crowd, they get nervous. They completely nervous. They get nervous. Because it's not that they cannot play.
Sure.
Or phobia. It's phobia. Those things happen. So we see, let us invest more into our team. If we want to get good results, see the kind of team we have. That's a good team we have. And I will say up front, we have a very good team. And that team needs to be well taken. If we can take that team, work with that team, train and invest into most of the players on our team are local players. from local league, from Leska, from all other things you see from Ryan. We can take the player, work with them, train them, invest money to them, work with the coach. No, we have a very good coach. Let me be honest with you. Our technical team, that good technical team, they need resources. Can you imagine lose that play? Our player need not even on a jersey. You notice that? Only did you notice that your player?
Yeah, I think
our player need not even on a jersey.
Yes, I think at this stage is a rules that. Yeah, I think at this stage is a rules that when you own a qualifier match, you don't put name on a jersey.
That's a rule, right?
Player never had the same thing. I think it's a rules.
That's
it's a rules also.
It's part of the game. They would take that as an advancement. That's good. But Oli,
let me be honest. Part of the game. If you even observe the South African guys, they never had names on the jersey as well.
Football is scientific. Let me be honest with you. Football is scientific. Scientific mean is mathematics.
Sure.
2 times 2, that's 4. Right? 4 times 4, that's 16. That math is straight. That's straight jacket. It's not like they didn't tell you say gab it in, gab it up. So it's not a lucky ticket game.
No, all that calculation.
Those who prepare, we have better opportunity to win the game. You saw the World Cup between France and Argentina. To prepare to play football, you saw real football. But you know how? Argentina came actually so look, this is our last chance. We'll put everything into this because we need this. And Argentina put a whole life into it. That's how people play football. They invested money into their team. They prepared that team for years. Yes, that's how they did it. You saw them even at the penalty shootout. So football now, not like those days with like jumper. Remember your brain players or brain like that trained 3 weeks ago. You're not gonna get good result. Honestly, you're not gonna get good result. I don't care what you do. And those international matches are very expensive, Oli. To take players to travel out of the country is expensive. So the cheaper want to do what? Pour money in the budget. Let us leave all international matches for some time, even if they'll find or leave funds. Let us prepare our team. You see how the stadium was beautiful today? After Liberia was banned for some time, we said we can't use our stadium.
Yes.
You saw that it's so beautiful. If we can do that with our team, we'll yield result. We're forced to be having a game when we're not prepared. We're not forced. How long is 12 months? How long is 24 months? If we train our local players, we invest into them. They are tested in our local leagues. When we used to have good leagues, they were IE and Barrow. Leska, they were doing exceptional work. Google things were doing. You are geo-professional. Geo-professional produce a lot of local. Most of the job we are 11 that we have, most of their strength were the local players they have. And most of the local players were able to travel up. They start playing outside because we have a good local league. The money went into the league. So if you have a local base, the league is perfect. Trust me, the national team will be good. When the local league is not perfect, how will you expect a good national team? No start now, no start on. Relax it, we're done. We play
that is one point I was trying to hit. That is one point I was trying to hit that relates to that. You see, we don't support the local league. And if you notice in the local league we have here, we got a lot of good players. But we don't support them. The only time you see those players coming out is when can't meet. And you just see them for 1-2 months, showcasing the talent. After then, they go back to zero. So we have to invest more money into our local league. We have to build that momentum for our local league. We have to start supporting our local league. How many person in the country buy local team jersey? How many person?
Well,
how many person can see a local team jersey?
One of the reasons why.
How many person can see over the weekend going to cheer at ATS for the local team?
Have you seen IE Barrow before? You're not gonna. If you see the local game on, you'll feel bad. You even prefer to watch the counter meet than and our FA league. On the serious, I'm telling you.
Yes, sure.
The counter meet with Liberia. The counter meet Liberia is well attended than our national, our local league. Serious, I'm telling you.
Sure.
Now, and I will tell you the problem. What causes the problem? Here's the problem. Our local league is not attractive anymore because of programs. And I one good thing that the current LFA board is trying to do to create a lot of programs. Now, those days you have people buying franchise in this thing. You have the NPA, you have NPA anglers.
Mm-hmm.
Were managed by the National Port Authority. You have the orders were managed by LPRC. When you have those companies
Yeah,
are buying shares into the team, sponsoring the team, paying the players more, you see results. Wait, man, you play football, you pay every
so
month the team pay you $50. Only man, somebody playing for the pay the man $50 per month only. The one time let's the transfer, one of the players signing a transfer. Do you know how many pay the player? Look at it. 300,000. I mean, let me say, another 300,000. 125,000 Liberian dollars. That is far less. That is less than 1,000 US dollars. That he transfer, and that transfer, the team taking certain percentage, the FA taking certain percentage.
mm-hmm.
Then the money come to him, he gotta pay manager. Sometimes I mean, only take his on 200-300 half on our whole transfer money. Then on the team, his salary will pay on the father every month. Only man. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Bad.
So I think we there's a need to invest into the FA. There's a need that the youth and sport can work together to see how better we can build our system. Look, nobody survives when the system is not built. When there is no foundation, you cannot survive. Everything doing is just based on luck and ticket. I think it's like about luck. Yeah, about luck. Like somebody said, Liberia, Jewish, South Africa, in South Africa by luck. Mm-hmm. Well, it's true because there's no program. There's no program. This course, we have a good course. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of our problem, or one thing we need to initiate in our local league is this, right? You see, if you go to Spain, sometimes we have to bring that set of naming our team based on our environment, or based on our community, or based on our city. If you go to Madrid now, Spain, you go to Madrid. One reason you see Real Madrid get a lot of fame because of the name they bear. That one big reason. That's just one reason, because of the name they bear, Madrid. All of those who live in Madrid, or let's say 50 to 60% of those who live in Madrid, when Real Madrid play, they'll go to the field, go wild Madrid. Then look at Barcelona. Barcelona was named after a city in Spain. If Barcelona going to play, the majority of those that live in Barcelona will share for Barcelona. You see people trooping in. Look at Manchester. Look at Chelsea. So if we try to initiate that, I think the momentum of our team will come up. Most often, I don't really follow the basketball game, but I've got to know the basketball team they call Busher Bull. Majority of my guys from Busher are there. Majority of those that support that team called Busher Bull, Mr. Brian, they are from Busher are there. So if you try to name team based on the environment, you'll see the support base. Like for example, you live in Virginia. Guys come together and create a team called Virginia FC. You think of Virginia FC playing the guys invite you on the field and go there? Obviously, you'll be part of the team.
Yes, exactly.
You support the team.
Exactly.
Because you live in Virginia. You want to see good thing coming from Virginia. You're a permanent resident of Virginia. I guess you're getting the point I'm pushing.
No,
so
I'm going to
try to decentralize our team based on the name. Even I was telling somebody the other day, even the county meet, the 15 counties should just be a team. You see the support base. You just made the 15 counties on the team.
Exactly.
Look at the support base of the various counties.
Yeah.
Look at the support base. People support those counties based on where it comes from. You see people in the United States supporting Nigeria, supporting Neymar, supporting Sino. Why? Because they want to see, the country go up in football. So if we try to name our various teams based on our environment, sometimes it will help too. I live Single. If you talk about Single FC, I'll be tripping to go and buy Manchester. Because I live Single. I want to see good thing coming out of Single. I want to come and make a piece and make players so they don't meet on the field.
Good.
As well.
Let be honest here, right? Many persons
Mhm.
are blaming the goalkeeper. People are saying that the goalkeeper uh, is not perfect. People are saying the goalkeeper
Mhm.
is the one who caused our failure or our downfall. Some are thinking that he's not up to task, and that's at some point
Mhm.
I try to disagree. Right? The game of soccer is a game of chance. At some point, somebody got to make a mistake. When you make a mistake, the next man capitalize on your mistake and he score. That's how it can look like. When you make a
Mhm.
mistake, you. The last time I saw Liverpool and the great player or one of African greatest players so far currently, former African best, stood allowed to kick a penalty for Liverpool. Salah.
Mhm.
And Salah missed the penalty. He missed the penalty for
Mhm.
Liverpool. When you say Salah is PC, Lionel Messi missed a penalty for Argentina in the World Cup. When you say
Mhm.
PC, Lionel Messi make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes Ronaldo, those guys make mistakes. But here's the thing, right? Uh, the goalkeeper needs some time. He actually needs some time. With the game that psychologically coming from South Africa, making that mistake where he ran to the guy, they had a problem. People already had issue with him. So with all the noise around, with all the noise around, he needed some time for mentorship. He needed some time to sit with a psychologist who could sit with him, and talk to him. Then this guy is going to the pool again. You saw at some point after he made a mistake. But the first goal mistake was never from that goalkeeper. That be straight with it. That first goal was a defensive blunder. It was a defensive blunder. The defender escorted this guy as far as the man rolling the ball. He allowed this man to move far. 1, 2, 3. Defender, you rolled that. You saw what a defender did when the guy scored the second goal that the council for South Africa who said about us go. When the guy kicked over the bar, that defender slide on the ground. In the
Mhm.
60-yard pass, defender, the best thing you do, always tell the coach will tell you, you either slide, you don't touch, you don't kick, you will not slide from the ball. The defender escorted the man, the ball bounced 1, 2. He's before the goalkeeper to come out to one and run, see to one and collide, the goalkeeper and the defender collide. The second goal that was his fault. The second goal was his fault. They kicked the shot straight up to him. He slapped the ball. Then he gave a goal placement. So that goalkeeper, after that moment, forget, you could get anything. He was just running out of the goal, any kind of way running out of the goal. That's maturity. That was his bad
Yeah.
time in the game. And that's what we're
Yeah.
saying.
But
That's what
Mr.
we're saying.
Brian, sometimes like we can say you can't keep doing one thing and expect different results,
But yeah.
right?
But but
Yeah,
but
sure.
but, but,
So
but Oli, listen.
yeah,
When you don't have alternatives, you see football. When I was playing football, my coach told me, said the people that sit on the bench are the best players that sit on the bench.
sure.
The people who sit on the bench, they are the best player. Because that why if the coach don't have good substitute, eh? When
Mhm.
there are no good substitute for the team, that team cannot succeed. Because the player may not be in the game. Sometimes you just not in the game. I don't care what happens. Sometimes you're not in the game. And you need somebody, you need two of one player on that team. So if that man is not in the game, the next player can come on board. But sometimes on the bench, it's not correct. If the coach feels that the guy is the best choice I have among my two goalkeeper I have, I can't put the guy, I can't put anybody there. You saw Mendy from Senegal when Chelsea had a game they were playing, and then they had to take it from the field and then put Mendy from the field and brought another guy on the field to come on. People to have because the coach felt he had a better substitute. Sometimes you need to have a better substitute, and that's the problem we keep having. When the coach is requesting for more good players to come in, no funding, so he wouldn't manage the few he have. So
Yeah,
sometimes you see the men get one, the men only get one number now. Good
yeah,
number now.
let,
So
let,
when I want number now, some injury, they start managing with somebody to bring the center to company number now. So you can't find anything. Nowhere. Every bench, the bench info says the bench should be red. Means you have good players on the bench. So when they have mistake, quick, the coach change. And whenever a coach make a change, the game to change. He said, Coach
yeah,
Kenka, what he did in South Africa. When he made that change in the second half, You saw what happened, right? The entire game changed. You saw South Africa today. When South Africa made the change, the entire game changed. So that's how you make the game. So if you don't have a good bench, it's useless because how can you effect a change in the game? If your number 9 is not performing, look at Liberia today. The guy who was playing on the right, how they call himself, he was not up to task. The first fight, he was not up to task, and after the second, how the coach had to make a change.
Terrence stays there.
Yeah, he was not up to task at some point. It's a very good player, but he went up to task. So who knows what happened? Nobody knows. Maybe he's sorry for fatigue, and sometimes players sorry for fatigue. So that's why they allow the player to have sufficient rest. The guys just play. They just play on Friday. They flew over from South Africa on Saturday. They have the train on Sunday. They have the train on Monday. Then they play game on Tuesday. Some of them don't fit for that. Somebody don't even used to that. Yeah, at some point you need to act like we're saying. Our point we're making here today is that we have a good team. And I would say we have a good team. What we expected today, we expected a win. Agree. But that team that we saw playing today, that's a very good team. Our point is, let us invest into this team. Let us not allow the guys to go after they play Morocco and then no support. Let us invest into the team. Let us give them all the needed support. Let us not criticize them. Let us not break them down. Because that's something about us, right? When we expect to have good result and we're not putting money to it, but we say the people perform magic, where does that thing happen? Only that, be honest. How much are we paying those guys that play? What is the level of investment we are making into the national team? If the national team beat any team, that should be exceptional. Thank you for them. Because look at ourselves, and like you get a child. You stay in the middle of school, right? You pay a school fee. You can buy capable. You don't get transportation. How would I mess steady? How would I mess steady? Then you expect to get you good grades. Only they may go to school. That meant to be relaxed to study. You need to eat good food. You need to have sufficient rest. So if you're not eating good food, you're not having sufficient rest, you will not perform exceptional in your lesson. Period. Understand it. Nobody can study on a duress. Forward player need rest. They need to eat good food. They need strength. They need to reduce the oil content in their body. No boys.
Mr. Brian, let me just come here.
Pretty good. 2 more minutes to go here. Yeah.
Yeah. You made mention a series of points.
Yeah.
That are very salient. But you see, ranging from the game today, the errors on the field and some of those problems we encounter on the field today. So
right.
It's so sad. You talk about the goalkeeper experience wherein he was lost battle at a certain level when he scored a goal. You see, Tommy Sango been around the team for a while, Mr. Brian. One person who been around the team for a while. He's one person who should be even encouraging the new player on the team because he got experience. He had traveled with the team. He been money for the team. I think for the past 2, 3, 4 years, he been out for jobs. So he got a lot of experience. But sometimes you see those guys does not put real time to the game. And at a certain level, I will feel disappointed in Coach Keita. I just read a statement from Coach Keita expressing confidence again in Tommy Sango. I don't know for what reason, but it's good that sometimes when people make error, we point out the error, tell them the lapses, and somehow encourage them, say you can make it. But according to sociology, you cannot solve problem without identifying the problem or without pointing out the problem. It is good that we point out the problem in our goalkeeper. Yeah, Tony Sango, he there, he's our first choice, we believe in him, we got confidence in him, people do make mistakes. But you can't keep repeating. You can't keep repeating one mistake every time. Sometimes it's also disappointing. And for people that support you, how do you expect people to support you when you're not impressing people? You know that some point, when those are playing, at some point say, oh, I'm just going to go whatever because that my goodness, they're going to be trouble. And you know, these are things where you say, my goodness, they're going to be trouble because they feel that they have been let down. Go on social media right now. Go in street corners right now. A lot of people have very huge expectations about our national team. People feel
But
that we're
look,
already
no, no,
you have to
listen,
go.
no. That's the part. That's the part I really. I mean, I love to be honest to myself, right? On the
Mm-hmm.
part, people should disagree, and I like for people to disagree with me, right? But if you're expecting higher expectation, you need to put more. Where you don't put more, don't expect to have higher expectation. That's the and that's the word. Where you invest more, you get more. Where you don't invest more, why would you get more?
Coach Tom,
How much are we
I
investing to
totally
the
agree
national
with
team?
you.
Let be honest.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, right?
How much are we
We
investing
got
to the national
support
team?
problem. We do have
How much
support
have we
problem.
invested? How much? How many times have we given the coach? I can imagine just less than 3 months. We selected the coach. Less than 3 months, over 90 days, we just selected the coach. So
Sure,
with
man.
the level of result he brought so far, we should have look. I know we want to go to African Cup of Nations, but it will not be overnight. Only we need to learn from our mistakes. You like you said, you cannot keep doing the same thing the same way and expect to get different results. It will never work for us. And that's why we keep doing to our national team. We from the George we are day. And one of the reasons why the George we are 11, and I would tell people, one of the reasons why the George we are 11 were doing well is because the George we are 11 have money. They have money. They were able to put players together to mobilize those players. The guys were able to organize those players. They were able to do extra for the team. If you see why Lone Star way back when Samuel Kando was president in this country, the reason why the team were doing well, our local league were perfect. At some point, they were putting money on the lines for the football players. He bought property for them. He bought land for the football players. They were on salary. The money was not plenty, but they were on salary. Those guys were motivated. Now, when you are investing other things to the people only, and you can say my expectation is high. When the man don't even have a secure contract with the national team, you will not call him on a short basis to play for the after games on the final every more games. And after that time, you're not qualified. You forget about the poor player. What do you expect of a player like that? What extra you expect to bring? He wouldn't come in to play to now. And one thing our player fail to realize, you are playing for your own promotion. If that team were to qualify, was to beat South Africa today, that national team that play in South Africa, just by drawing with South Africa, took Liberia at the higher pedestal. If Liberia were to defeat South Africa today, our ranking was going to go high. Just by going to the African Cup of Nations, many of that players are going to have contracts. Many of them are
But
going to have
now,
contracts.
that's the point.
Now,
That's the point I was about to
but,
stress.
but the point is that Uli, psychologically, do they understand that? You think they
Not
understood
at
that?
all.
That's what. The point that they felt that wearing the jersey playing na morale for me. People thinking that playing for the national team is just a morale, it's not achievement. They don't see it as an opportunity to grow. So that's why we talk about this, the level of education for our players. So look, just by wearing the jersey, it means you are on the front line for your country. You are representing 5.2 million people. And you're representing yourself and your family. When you do the extra, you promote yourself and your family, not only your country. Because people up there watching you on camera. You see, well, look at where Dwayne Jebo played football. Don't you think people run after Dwayne Jebo? The club he plays for, we appreciate him. Because he comes outside, he plays exceptional. You got to market yourself. That's football discipline. That's football discipline. But because we play behind camera in our national league, how many don't even know our local players in this country? How many don't know our local players? So that level of enthusiasm is not even there. So, like I tell people, we will criticize our team. They will do it. But how much more do we expect of our players? How much more should we expect of our team when we're not investing more? There's nowhere a football team survive in an asset of preparation. And what is preparation? That program and money. That be straight to it. If you want to smell good, you buy good cologne. If you want to look good, you spend good money. If you want to eat good food, you want to look healthy, eat good food. That's clear code. That's life. They may not eat good food, not be looking healthy. So what you expect? That's the outcome. So what's your expectation? So our expectation shouldn't be high. It shouldn't be high. Our expectation should be like a 60-40. Okay, maybe we'll win. We'll win. That's fine. That lucky.
There's a brand want to come from the other side, right?
Yeah, we gotta go. Let's just try to wrap it.
Go the thing is that it's good that we talk about supporting our team. Yeah, it's good, but we can keep talking, and in the interest of people that keeping us the other side. When you're talking for some money, you increase the budgetary allotment for sports in our country for the national team, and the national team is not impressing us.
No, Oli. Who make the team?
Mm-hmm.
Who make the team? The players make the team. Who need to take care of the players? We need to take care of the players.
Sure.
If we don't take care of the player, what do we expect?
Yep. The thing is that we have to manage the little one we have in order to stay prepared for the bigger ones. Look at the kind of country we are in, Mr. Brian.
The national
we are struggling, right?
The national team wouldn't perform magic. No magic will be performed. Only honest, I'm telling you. I play football. I'm telling you from a football perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why
it is good that we support our team, which compose 100% correct.
You are not only when you don't have a well structured and finalized team, don't expect to get exceptional result. I'm honest. I'm telling you. If you and I went to work for practice after practice, I don't even have. As after the game, I see my opponents, the guys that have a bottled water. The kind of bag they use, the reflected jackets the board are using. No, only look, listen to me. That's how life looking. It's psychological. What how can you expect a man to perform on that kind of environment? How can you expect a man to perform on that environment? It don't work anymore. Only football that investment. I have one of my friends who I invested money, took his son to a academy. His son right now is in Italy. Because he feels that when his son goes to the academy, his son graduates from the academy, his son has a well-schooled discipline with football. That's why it's the player that go to the academy today, they pay them more money than some player when you go to the academy. Yes. Because they think you know that you train, you nurture. And when you go in, they pay more money in you. But Oli, it's not going to work. Someone said that not at all will ever work where there's no money invested into the game. You don't expect good result. So everything we're doing here, I just look at ticket. So our expectation should not be high. I think it's about time we need to tell our team, thank you for doing this. They try. With limited time, they try. Our point out that will raise resources for our team. In Liberia, I used to during the Josh we had time. I heard something used to have what they call they used to have that team. How they call it, the mobilization team. They were raising money for the team. They will raise thousands of dollars. They have a dedicated account. They will they will prepare our team. So they're not just going to take the team, so you're going to play to them. No, they will prepare that team and they invest. The local players are training. Then the professional will come in 2 weeks and join the local player. But your professional coming again 2-3 days, you can't join your player, you go play. What do you expect that to not happen? Me and the man play together before. 2 days to the game, the man count down, the man join or the man play. For the net, what do you expect? Individual football. This is the first time after normal years I've seen Liberia today. Our team play collective football with the limited resources they got. So that tells you that if we pour more into the game, what we expect? We expect greater result. When you put more, Oli, you get more result. But anyway, Oli, let's give our parting comments. I know how you feeling. You play football before some also honest in the game. You look at it from a more spectator point of view, and then I know that you want to see a win.
I was one time P's the best defensive midfielder. I play good football anyway.
Oh, it peace when? In the community or what?
No,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
talking about I'm talking about a lot of BBC.
Okay,
Coming from
thank you.
Boga Mission. Yeah, Jacob don't see in the list. Okay, so impact thing we have been here for a while. Somebody will just text me say, don't say you're just coming for 10 million, you're going far.
But anyway,
So that's the thing.
that was a good conversation. And
Sure,
to
sure.
be honest, like I like to say to our people, our expectations should have been high. We didn't do more. We didn't put more into it. The team did exceptionally well with the limited resources, the limited time they had, they play. I think we need to learn lesson from our mistakes we keep making. We're not putting into the team. We shouldn't expect more because we're not investing more into our team. We have talents in Liberia. See what have been displayed by our players today playing South Africa. You mean South Africa, Liberia play South Africa like that? I cannot even believe it. Look, let us stop the
Sure.
blaming game. Let us put money into our team. Save budget. Football you gotta have a football budget. Save money. Support the LFS. Support the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Have programs for our player. And trust me, you'll see what happens. Let's let little bit suspend our membership and I mean our appearance in all the international matches for some time. And go back in the corner, come back from the closet and do better. That's it. God bless you. Long time thank you, yeah. Hey, yeah, Megan talk all that. Oh, well, God bless all of you.
Megan Tower.
Yeah,
So it was good
exactly.
anyway, like you said, it was good. It was
Yeah.
very good. We appreciate the players. Like I said, with all of the defeat, I admire the game. The game was well played. Our men had control over the football. They entertained us. Our only problem was the finishing touches. There were no one to finish the ball like that. William Jabo did
Okay.
his best,
All
but
right.
we need to build up our attack. Our
All
guys
the
got to
players
be.
did the best. All the players, from the goalpost area to the coach, everybody did the best.
No,
I know
they
you
did
want
well.
to.
No,
I think you want to talk about the
you want me
goalkeeper,
to
but
tell
they
you
did
something
well.
go for it?
But
You
anyway,
want me to tell
I
something you go
would like
for?
to recognize. I would like to recognize a few of our viewers. From with the Barcelona, my cousin from with the Barcelona, Eddie from with the Barcelona. He said the problem is the goalkeeper, Eddie. I your view. You know you play football, Eddie. You know the goalkeeper made mistakes. Somebody scored, no problem. Uh, and to all the people from Oman, from the US as well, from our viewers from Liberia, from my little brother Ali. Ali, yeah, he said the same thing as well. He said the goalkeeper repeated the mistake twice. Ali, that's the game. Let's pray for our team. Let's support our team. They said prayer without work is a dead faith. So while we pray, we should preparing them to do great work.
Are we
I just
waiting?
bye bye.